Have you ever wanted to become one with the universe, viewers? Today, we're going to go in search of some people who have that desire. That was not one of them. I was previously down here in the vicinity of the Shrine of Sacrifice. I'm just going to walk back to Minok really quick here, if this orc lets me. I grew up playing the Ultima games well before I had any idea what Lord of the Rings was. Meaning that when I saw orcs in the Ultima games, I had no idea what they were actually meant to represent. So, that sprite always looked to me more like some kind of fuzzy teddy bear kind of critter instead of the big, ugly green people that we associate with orcs based on actually watching Lord of the Rings nowadays. It's up here past the swamp, yeah. So I'm not going to Minok itself because I've already done everything I can do there, but I'm going to come around these mountains to the north of it. And I just missed the proper phase of the moon, so I'll have to wait around a bit, so I'll probably edit this out for a bit. But anyway, what I'm aiming for here is the Minok Moon Gate appears when the left moon is on the full phase, and I want to take the Moon Gate when the right moon is in the half-moon waning phase. Going by the map, that will take me to one of these small islands to the west of Britannia. Alright. There's the Moon Gate. And there's the proper phase. And you'll see my mini-map update. We are where we intended to be. This is the town of Skara Brae. I believe the name Skara Brae is some kind of ancient archaeological site in Britain, which is probably where the developer got the name, I don't know. Anyway, before we go in there, let's go up here. Because there is a time-honored tradition of hiding things on the outside of town walls. In this case, a hungry beggar named Granted. Tell me about the food and money you're begging for. Yes, that's more or less what food is for, I'm aware. Sure. Okay, but because we chose to explore out here, we have a couple critical pieces of information. We know that there's someone named Ambule who knows the mantra, and there is an Ankh that knows the rune. Is that some guy who decided to give himself the title of the Ankh? That's a little non-humble, but anyway, since I said I would, I'll be nice. Have 10. I don't think it matters, but whatever. That's all we can do with her. There are a couple of bulls up in there, but there's no way to actually get to them. Is that the Ankh they were talking about? It is. You can talk to the Ankh. Alright. It's a healthy Ankh. Good to know. Tell me about the rune. I don't know the mantra yet. It's not boop, is it? Whatever. We'll have to come back to the Ankh once we know that mantra. In the meantime, let's talk to these people. Here is a solemn ranger named... I didn't get his name, but he seeks the inner light. Shamino is his name. He is seeking the one great truth of the universe, alright. Which lies within the Codex. He doesn't say anything else, right? He's supposed to. Interesting. His dialogue is actually bugged in this version of the game. What he's supposed to do, I guess, probably in response to that question about the Codex, is he says, "Dost thou seek this truth?" And if you say yes, he will say, "Some things take forever, but brick by brick, mountains can be built." Whatever. Anyway, Shamino is actually the ranger member of your party. He would join you if you asked him. As with all the party members, I won't at this point. But I assume you're supposed to know that because he talks about looking for the Codex. I believe in earlier releases of the Apple version of this game, Shamino was actually standing right here, blocking the way to the Ankh. Meaning you would actually have to ask him to join you before he would get out of your way and let you talk to the Ankh. And if you were playing as a ranger character, there would be literally no way to get to the Ankh because you can't have another ranger join you except for killing Shamino or one of these other people. In this release of the game that I got, apparently that issue is fixed, so I don't know. Shamino also, if you don't know, is another self-insert of Richard Garriott himself, for what it's worth. This person, less interesting, is just named White, who quests. He was a fighter, right? Yes. Is your quest to find the Holy Grail? You're not going to tell me. You're just going to tell me how dangerous your quests are. No, I'm not fearless. I'm humble. Yep, that's the trouble. There is actually valid reason to be afraid of things. What dangers are you afraid of? Okay. So are you supposed to be afraid or not? How does this Valor thing work? I guess when we go to the City of Valor, we'll learn more about that. Here's a mage named Carlyle. Given that I've literally been casting magic in this world, it would be a little silly to say no, so sure. Do you believe in magic? And I hope you do. You'll always have a friend wearing big red shoes. No, that's something else. Well, we learned that you only need 1 part ash to cast the magic missile spell, not that I'm ever likely to be doing that. But as with all the spells, even when they say it takes a double portion, it doesn't. And there's a bard over here. His name is Dickens, who writes stories. I wonder if he's a reference to anyone. I do my best, sure. I'm also good in civilization. For all I know, this is actually a specific reference to something in Charles Dickens, but I don't know any of Dickens' novels well enough to comment on that. Anyway, good advice. It doesn't matter if you're perfectly good, just make sure that you are more good than more evil. I.e., if you burn down an orphanage, go give a bunch of gold to a beggar. It'll balance out. That's how video game morality works. For what it's worth, do note that the people around the Ankh here, in addition to the ranger, are a mage, a bard, and a fighter. That's a little bit symbolic. We'll learn a little more about that later, I think. Who's this? A great philosopher named Buddha. I think if I meet the Buddha along the road to enlightenment, I'm supposed to kill him or something, but I'm pretty sure I'd lose virtue for that, so I'm not gonna. He teaches. Do you teach about spirituality? That's more like compassion, I guess, but... That's one noble truth. Are there supposed to be 3 more, or whatever? That's not actually one of the noble truths, that's one of the Eightfold Paths, or something. Did he have anything else to say? Huh, he actually doesn't ask a question. Interesting. Let's see. Here's a person with a book named Romasco, who is also a teacher, who carries weapons. Exactly like the NRA wants. What do you teach? You teach of the abyss. Yeah, I've heard of it. And there's a word of passage. I think that's the first we've heard about that. And someone in Pause named Zaire the Wise would tell us more about that. So I guess I'll have to go back to Pause eventually and ask about such things. This person is actually a person. I don't know enough to speculate on whether he's a reference to Ralph Waldo Emerson or someone else with that name in the real world, but I guess. So you should be really worried about ghosts, I suppose, if you have to fight any? What's his other keyword? Okay, you ask him about his wounds. That doesn't really have anything to do with being wounded, but okay. Again, I do my best. He doesn't say anything interesting either way, really. I'm not entirely sure what the point of view is, Emerson. Flavor? See if we can get... No. As noted at the shrine, if you go to the healer shops, they will occasionally ask you to donate blood, but I haven't seen that yet. It may be that you need to be over a certain threshold of HP or something to trigger it. Is there anything down here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, there are a couple people in here. This is Santayana. I think that's another philosopher. I don't know anything about that person. But he gets paid to carry light within his heart. Oh, that light. I'm pretty sure the right answer is no. Yay, I humbled properly. Although that didn't give me humility points, so I don't know. I don't think he tells you anything useful anyway. Here is a ranger named Michelangelo. I think this game was released before the Ninja Turtles comics, let alone the cartoons, so that's probably meant to be a reference to the painter, not the turtle. Nonetheless, I think they misspelled it regardless. What am I asking him? He strives. I think I've got a ways to go yet, so not really. Yeah, we'll work on it. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Yeah. I believe in the real world, people do tend not to live long after they feel like they've accomplished everything they intend to accomplish, so... Always having more to desire is generally a good thing for your long-term health. Whatever this silly guy has to say about it. There's no one else in here, right? Nope. There's a beggar over there. I'll get to him in a moment. A Radiant Ranger named Mitra? I don't know. Midra? No, that's something else. You're a fighter. Why are you reading a wizard's publication? Oh, okay. I'll need that eventually. I don't think I've heard of that yet, have I? Well, the White Stone is not in the associated dungeon, called Hithloth for some reason. We'll learn more about that later. But yes, I'm pretty sure that White Stone is going to be part of my quest eventually. So we need to ask about that intrinsic. Good to know. There's a kid down here. You have a name? How would you know that when you're a child? Oh, I guess he just named that. Whatever. Okay. Do you have anything at all to say? A? A? Whatever. He's just a kid. I haven't talked to this person in the Reagent Shop yet, have I? This is Presto. Good name for a wizard. He casts great big spells! Like Jinx, Kill, and View! And yes, if you do the research, you will note that what all those spells have in common is that they require Nightshade. And if you know that, he will tell you to ask in Vesper about Nightshade. Unfortunately, I just left Vesper, and it'll be a while before I go back there, but whatever. I'm not going to backtrack just for that. I'll have other business in Vesper soon enough anyway. I don't need to buy herbs here. If you haven't bought herbs yet, by the way, be sure to do so. There will be a sequence coming up where you will need to dispel a lot of magical barriers, for which you will need a lot of those reagents, which happen to be sulfurous ash, garlic, and black pearl. So bear that in mind. Let's talk to this beggar. Ambule, we were told about you earlier. So that's how begging works. Sure. I guess I'm getting compassion for that. I can't tell. Anyway, we were told to ask Ambule about the mantra, right? Yes. Okay, so we're supposed to go on and ask Baron about the mantra. So let's go take care of that. Tell me the mantra. Yay, it's Om. Unsurprising. If you don't know, Om is traditionally a fundamental sound to the universe in Hindu meditation, and it's become pretty much the stereotypical mantra when people talk about mantra-based meditations, so it makes sense that it shows up in spirituality. So the Ankh over here supposedly will tell us about the rune as long as we know the mantra, so now we know that the mantra is Om, which we need to go back to Castle Britannia to find the rune in the treasure chamber. At some point I'll have to do that. Lovely. I have not found the Shrine of Spirituality yet, and no one's mentioned it, interestingly. Oh, okay. What the Ankh is saying there, because I don't think it's explained any further than that, is that if you go in a moon gate while both moons are in the full moon phase, that will take you to the Shrine of Spirituality. That's the only way to get there. It does not exist on the world map. The gate at which you can actually do that is the Minot Gate. You might have noticed that happening briefly earlier when I was at that gate. But there's no reason to go back to the Shrine of Spirituality right now, so I'm not going to bother. We are not maxed out in spirituality yet, so we can't do anything with that yet. Anyway, let me see. Can I get back to Britain easily from here? Not quite yet. I think I'm probably about ready to go back to the castle and level anyway. So I should do that before I find anything else. Yes. So, what I'm going to do here is, from Skara Brae, I'm going to aim for you. Now, the Skara Brae Moongate opens with the last quarter, the half-moon waning, so that's going to take a little bit to get to. And to go from Skara Brae to you, I want the right moon to be in the gibbous waxing phase. So... now. And I could walk to Castle Britannia from here, but I think it'll go a little bit faster if I just take the Moongate. So again, I wait for the gibbous waxing on the left here for the U Moongate to open, and then I want the crescent waxing to go to Britain. So here it comes. And here we are, by Castle Britannia again. I will meet you up in the throne room, because I believe I'm due for a level. By the way, make sure you remember to leave your horse outside the castle. As I noted before, it will disappear if you dismount it from inside the castle when you go up the ladder. Alright, here we are, getting leveled up to level 5. Do you have anything new and interesting to say about helping me? I already heard that. I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon, so thanks for nothing. I only have that one level pending, right? Yes. Anyway, I'm going to go back around to the first floor here, to the treasure room. As I have now been informed, that's where the Rune of Spirituality has been this whole time. And I could have grabbed it at the beginning of the game if I'd wanted to, but on a blind playthrough that would be unfair because no one would know to look in here. Now, make sure that you are doing this with the search command, not the get command. Get command would steal a treasure chest and be bad. Search command just takes an item that you find in that vicinity. So, as noted again, when we get the Rune of Spirituality, we get another 100 XP, which is still not enough to raise a level. We need 1600 for the next one. Also, as long as I'm here, I will check in with Hawkwind, since I'm supposed to be doing that. Just to properly capture the flavor of some of the stuff he says. So, tell me about my virtues. Honesty's doing okay. Compassion's doing okay. Valor's not too amazing yet, but it's something. Yeah, Justice is okay. Sacrifice is something I haven't done much of, because I haven't been asked to do that by a healer yet. Honor's fine. Spirituality's okay. And he's pretty happy with my humility. And be aware that every time you talk to Hawkwind, you will gain a little bit of spirituality. There are other ways of gaining spirituality, but talking to Hawkwind is the main one, so even if you are generally confident in how your virtues are doing, it's a pretty good idea to check in with Hawkwind when you get a chance. Anyway, as long as I'm here, let me wander over and see if this healer will let me donate blood now that I'm at full HP. Yay, there's that question that I've been trying to get for a while. So yes, they ask you if you will sacrifice 100 HP. You say yes, and you lose 100 HP. But you gain a few points of sacrifice for doing so. So if you are trying to grind your sacrifice up, one thing you can do is come to the healer here in Castle Britannia, give up that HP, go up to Lord British, get healed, and then come straight back down to the healer over and over. I think the blood donation is on a timer, probably, but I think the walk between there and the throne room is enough that you'll be fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go back outside. Get on my horse, board my horse, get this treasure, and I'll just take the moon gates back over to Skara Brae off-screen and meet you there next time, because that's where I'm going to be starting the next leg of the journey anyway. So, thank you again for watching. Good night.